Hello, everyone. This is Rob coming at you live from my desktop computer. Hope that everybody is having a great time today. We're going to be running some battles here in World of Warships. As you may have seen in my message on Discord, the gameplay will include the ping and FPS in the corner, so it'll be able to tell me what my performance is, and I can estimate for games that I play that don't have that information by default. And there's Barbarian King. Evening, Barbarian. Good to see you. I'm just doing a little bit of maintenance right here. I'm trying to share this on Discord so people know that I've gone live. Here we go. Just one more paste. There we go. And we are back to live. Hey there, Jet. Good to see you coming along. I don't know how many of you are familiar with World of Warships, but basically any ships from the World War II era forward to about the end of the Vietnam era. So nothing ultra modern. Ship classes are destroyers, cruisers, and battleships. And there's Di. Hi, Di. We also have aircraft carriers. Currently, there is a Halloween event going on. I'm not going to be doing that on stream today because, well, for one, I suck at it, but two, it's ongoing mission that I haven't participated much in. But that's why the port looks spooky. And there's Hawk. Yes, Hawk, it is about time. Right here, we're going to be going into battle in the Königsberg. It is a Tier 5 cruiser from Germany. Its standard layout includes a fighter for defending against enemy aircraft, obviously. Hydroacoustic search, precursor to actual sonar. And, of course, we have the damage control party, which when you're burning or flooding or you have damaged equipment, you can use that to repair on the fly so that you stop losing hit points or maybe enable your guns to fire again. We'll be going into a random battle. The wait time's generally not too long. If you're not familiar with the game, what you generally need to see is players in range 30 or more. Generally is a good indication that you're ready to start a round. In this particular game, the players in range it's only counting the number of people who you could actually play against. You cannot see ships more than 2 tiers in difference in games. So you might be facing off against ships 2 tiers higher than you, or you might be top tier and 2 tiers lower than you are facing you. But because we chose a tier 5 cruiser, we can not see anybody who's tier 3. That's a protected tier. So we could be a middle tier or a low tier, we could be a high tier or only see other tier 5s. Well, you got an Army NCO at the helm of this ship, Hawk. So let's see how that works out. Königsberg is a fairly decent cruiser. We're bottom tier. We are a tier 5 in a very tier 6 game. And it looks like we have the better of the aircraft carriers.
Capture that area. Good luck and fair seas.
Okay, this is basically a capture the flag type game. You get points for how long you keep each area under your control. You have to occupy the target circles for roughly 60 seconds in order to turn it to your side. As you can see from the bottom of the screen, we have high explosive shells loaded. They're very effective against destroyers and cruisers, less effective against battleships. However, you never know what you're going to see first. Right center of my screen, it says detected and had an aircraft. That was letting me know that the enemy team could see me because of the aircraft detection. Enemy ships did fire at me, but luckily they didn't fire until after I was not detected, and they didn't account for me actually changing direction. There are 10 tiers, Jet. He was spotted, but we lost sight of him. What I'm doing here is I'm slowing down on my way around the corner, because I want to try and get first shot off. There we go. Done is he changed over to firing armor piercing. That's why the color changed. See that destroyer over there just put himself into a smoke screen. Okay, now I've lost steering. I'm going to use my damage control to regain steering. I normally will let damage go on.
Problem solved, sir.
it does repair over time without having any intervention. But now that we are at extreme range, it's easier for me to wag my tail to avoid incoming rounds. If you look on my mini-map, you'll see that there is a battleship coming into this area. That's him right over there. He's out of my gun range right now. There's actually two of them over there. I didn't see the second one pop up.
That's how it's done.
I am currently seeing my
Enemy battleship sighted.
frames and ping as more than acceptable. We have definitely lost A, but we gained C. So there's their destroyer. Those are the most damaging of the potential enemies. They're the ones who carry torpedoes, and they're fast, and they're hard to keep spotted. Armor-piercing ammo, especially from great distances, has the potential of punching through your deck armor, which is why you would switch to it. At this point,
Good show. Thank you.
it would be a great idea for our carrier to vacate the spot that he's in, because he's about to be exposed to enemy surface vessels, because that destroyer and I are leaving the AO.
Enemy battleship detected.
He's on the other side of that island. He, however, is... we lost him. Okay. He's a fairly slow-moving target. So let's see if we can... I can follow my rounds in. This will tell me what my target estimation was. I was about on target, but I shot a little bit high. Battleship just took a pot shot at me. He was hoping he was going to end me.
Ship is on fire! Problem solved, sir! The ship is on fire!
goes that. However, I do have torpedoes in the water, so let's see if I'm lucky enough to catch him off guard. I don't think I am. Not a great amount of damage. 14,000 over 21 hits. Probably won't score very high on this match. And that's pretty much the end of this round for me, and there's no point in sticking around. Because you guys didn't come here to watch other people play. You came here to watch me play. I hope. Maybe you did come here to watch other people play. With any luck, you get to see me get beat up a lot. Okay, so I'm using only Tier 5 cruisers right now. We do not have submarines yet, but they're coming. It's going to be a very big balance issue in games, so they're trying them out carefully. This is a French cruiser. It's actually a cruiser that served during World War II, but was actually, in the configuration it's in now, was 1950s era. So it's a little bit advanced for the other Tier 5 cruisers. But it's light. It's very light. I've modified it slightly, making the turrets turn faster, the engine is a little bit harder to damage, and the dispersion of shells is a little bit less. So we go over to here. This is the exterior of the ship. We can choose our camouflage patterns, so I'm going to choose one that makes it harder to see the ship at distance and makes enemy gunnery a little less effective. Signals will give you bonuses. So these are all basically experience and credits bonuses. This one allows you to put out fires faster. And if you look here, I only have a 30 anti-aircraft rating, which is not very high. You can have up to a 70 on some cruisers, maybe even a little higher on some of the top-tier cruisers. But it's really a maneuverability type ship. So to increase that, I want to use a pennant that will give me extra speed. Now, because I'm a cruiser, I want to increase the chance of causing fires with my HE shells. And because I'm increasing the chance, you'll notice that at the bottom of the increase, it tells you that there's an increased chance of detonating the main magazine, which would blow up the ship. This pennant reduces that chance by 100%. Every ship is different. They don't all start at 0%. So some of them start at 20, some start at 40%. So when you add up 5% chances becomes now you're a 50% chance. Take 100% off that, it moves you to a negative 50, but that's then modified by the ship that's shooting at you. So they can still have a positive chance of detonating your ship. Well, I appreciate that, Di. It is definitely one of those games where the fortune of your outcome is going to be not only dictated by your own skill, there is quite a bit of luck involved. At longer ranges, it's harder to hit enemy ships, but a lot of that does come down to percent chances and behind-the-scenes die rolls. This looks like it's a straight-up domination battle. We either have to eliminate the enemy warships or take their main base area. The capture time on an enemy base is slightly longer than it would have been in the capture the flag style battle.
Battle starts.
And one major difference in the games is there is an alarm in this game when someone starts capturing your base. They want to make sure you're aware of what's going on. As you can see from the bottom screen on this one too is armed with a fighter to defend against aircraft, although the only aircraft I'll be seeing are enemy spotters or other fighters. One thing that I do use my fighters for in situations where we don't have an enemy carrier is if there's a destroyer nearby, I'll put my fighter in the air because they will see incoming torpedoes before I can. This also has hydroacoustic search, so we'll be able to spot potential destroyers in smoke screens if they are in range.
All stations requesting fire on the designated target.
If you bear with me a second while I make this turn. Okay. You'll see the range of this search is, for ships, 4 kilometers, and my torpedo range is 6 kilometers. So that solid ring on the mini-map, the closest one to my ship, is just a little bit closer than the range of the hydroacoustic search. As you can see, we've got our first kill of the day, and it is the enemy destroyer. That Emerald just took a pounding. Coming around the far side of the big island, so I'm going to go that way to help protect him, or against him. It'll also put this volcanic island between me and the enemy ships in the center. straits probably means he's not alone. Covers the center. Let's get off this path before I get pummeled. Battleships may not be able to see me at the moment, but they definitely have the range to reach out and touch me if they just fire where I was before. I'm going to use my speed to scout this oh, I can adjust that die. Hold on one moment. That should give me a little bit better volume on the game. Thank you. Well, the game gives you some audio feedback when you score a hit. It also gives you those, in the upper right corner, those ribbons. That indicates I have 12 hits and I started 2 fires. Right now what I'm doing is I'm going to scout around the corner here. If I spot a ship that has not previously been spotted, like that one, I am going to get a ribbon for having spotted that. And because this cruiser is a fast cruiser,
Requesting assistance.
it's going to be a lot harder for enemy ships at distance to hit.
The ship is on fire!
Obviously, battleships can take a beating. As you may have noticed there, I chose to let the fire burn itself out instead of using my damage control to fight the fire. Because if I took damage on a subsequent shot to the engine room or a weapon system, I would have a cooldown on the damage control that would have prevented me from restoring either my engine or my guns. Just off target. I think I get one more shot at it. He's moving out of my maximum range now. Turn my ship around. I'm trying to do it in as short a space as possible, however. The dotted line on the mini-map
Attention. Reporting the target.
Yes, I am the white arrow on the minimap. The dotted line is the distance they can see me at. So that changes if I fire the weapons, but right now I was outside of the safe spotting range, so they couldn't put a target marker on me. Now you see down the center there's a cruiser.
All stations, concentrate fire on the target.
Acknowledged.
Roger.
By the way, the player name for this account is Von Trapp,
Affirmative.
so if you notice that name roll by in the chat, that's me talking. Looks like the New York is the one who's in danger now. Our Congo seems to be weathering fire well. Ah, there's the Breton. Or Bretagne, I'm not sure how you say that. I took French a long time ago. As I come around the edge here, this battleship is going to see me. He is well outside of torpedo range.
Our team has taken the lead.
One of the things that is true about this game, as in real life, if you're turning your guns to change your targets, they become less accurate. So if you fire at the same target a few times, you start getting some accuracy bonuses. In the upper corner, underneath my damage score, which is the number of points of damage I've done through this round, you'll see two other numbers. One is the amount of damage I've deflected by using my armor effectively, and the other is the amount of damage done by allies because I saw the enemy. I have two choices right now. There's a battleship going into the center, facing off against our New York. Our New York seems to be using his damage repair ability, so we probably don't need to worry about him. And that's the last person on their team, so I'm just going to get in here and see if I can get some capture points. As you can see, we still have over a minute left for base capture on this, so this would not be a fast process.
Affirmative.
Obviously, a much better performance in this ship. Oh, I didn't even know I had a mission running. Middle of the line, not really unexpected. could have performed much better. And I can, of course, look at the individual damage done to me or against me, and it breaks down your performance. For winning the game, you receive more than when you lose the game. If you were to pay for an account, you would win even more. So I would have won another 40,000, almost 50,000 credits, and another 200 experience. I don't think that was necessary. There are ways in-game to win premium account time, and generally speaking, if I don't win it, I don't use it. We'll switch over to Battleship. Pretty standard. This is the Koenig. It's an interwar battleship, which just means that it was laid down between the wars. It's very unlikely I'll have a magazine detonation in a ship like this, so I'm not worried about that. But if you see here, a 51 AA defense is pretty decent. So if I come up to this flag, it adds damage to the AA guns. And I like to try and give my battleships all the extra secondary battery range they can get. Now, as far as camouflage on a ship like this goes, they're going to see it from a massive distance anyway, so doing anything that reduces detectability isn't really necessary. This one only adds to the dispersion of enemy shells. Now, if I wanted to add some XP or some extra credits, I could use one of these. However, I tend to use these mostly for cruisers. These were all won in either containers as rewards for battles played, or in special events. They'll offer them up a couple of unique camouflages during the course of a special event. For example, this was last year's Halloween camouflage, which it is kind of ugly. But all I need to do is make enemy ships have a harder time hitting me. The advantage that a battleship normally has, we have damage control parties just like every other ship, but we also have damage repair teams, and they will actually restore hit points taken in combat and damage. After this battle, I will show you guys the commander screen, because I've neglected to show you that. Each commander earns experience points, and as you progress, you can give him specific skills that increase the performance of the ship. Highly useful skills. Some of them apply to different classes of ships only, but if you put the right commander with the right skills into a ship, you can become a real powerhouse on the water. Well, I'm glad this is a game you guys haven't seen before. It is a free to play game. You can, as long as you have a system that will run it. There's no cost required to get started and run the game. I can command an aircraft carrier. I even have a couple of them. They're a little bit more boring, but I will happily run one for you guys as soon as I get a chance. So after this battle, I'll take one out for you.
General Quarters.
Who is General Quarters
give
and
them
what's
a
he
hard
doing on my
time.
ship? Okay, as you can see, it's another capture the flag style scenario. Matchmaker has put me in the southern group. It looks like my destroyer is not started yet. That's frustrating. Alright, let me show you. It's hard to see, but that rear gun is facing forward, which means that he was either in another screen or perhaps he was away from his keyboard, but he did not have a connection problem. The rear gun turns to either port or starboard and aims in the direction that the camera is facing. So anytime I move the camera, the guns start turning towards it. The one problem that I have seen repeatedly in this game is some people with low-speed internet connections will disconnect while waiting for the game to start. And you can tell if they've been disconnected because their rear guns will still be facing rearwards when the game starts. All those shots, only one hit.
Enemy battleship sighted. Enemy cruiser detected.
As you can see, there are plenty of enemy destroyers.
Enemy battleship detected.
See what his... Hopefully that'll get him.
Enemy cruiser detected. Enemy destroyer detected.
It's a pretty good clip on that destroyer. I'm not going to maintain visual on him though, so let's take out this cruiser. Or somebody else will get him. That's okay. I don't mind sharing. You might have noticed that on my screen I have a airplane as part of my loadout in the bottom. That is a spotting aircraft. I'm fairly certain that destroyer did not think I was
Our
there.
team has taken the lead.
Damage I've done is not very high, but I've taken none. I have been spotted, and now I have not been. And there's spotted again. Doing by slowing down here is A, I'm throwing off any aiming that they're doing, but B, I'm letting this island sit between me and an enemy ship. Now I can accelerate again and get my butt out of here. Take a pounding out of that one.
The ship is on fire!
Luckily, he was firing high explosives.
Enemy battleship sighted.
See with that destroyer there, I do not want to use my damage control unless I have to, because he has torpedoes. Protected by that island. There's no point in me trying to shoot at it. These two are not. He can't torpedo me from that distance. Or through that island, but... Unfortunately, this ship is
Problem solved, sir!
very unmaneuverable.
The ship is on fire!
And there's my spotting aircraft. One of the things that the spotter will fly until he's out of fuel. So he's going to provide spotting for the team. Of course, he's got to get shot down because I see a fighter aircraft in the area. So I'm guessing the other battleship had a fighter available. Hi, Ease. Good to see you. Let's get ourselves to, aircraft carriers. I wanted to see an aircraft carrier. That's the German one. That's the American one. Let's start with the American one. It's probably the easiest one to fight from. I generally speaking don't take any camouflage. And I'm not eligible to take the magazine flag, so I don't need that either. We can fight this the way it is. Being I have 85 camouflage on this one, because I really never use it. I'll put that on there just so I don't look like a total noob. For those of you who have served in the U.S. military, you know that this configuration is not accurate. The highest flag is supposed to be the U.S. flag on a U.S. vessel. I sent Wargaming an email and they have not responded. So, but this is a the USS Ranger. It is a low-tier carrier. Tier 4 is the lowest tier for all carriers. Remember, I can see ships as high as 2 tiers higher than me. So I could be in a Tier 6 battle when I get in there. Aircraft carriers are sort of funny. We do not launch our own fighters and control them. They launch automatically if enemy aircraft approach. When you're fighting an aircraft carrier... Alright, Jet, drive safely. When you're fighting an aircraft carrier and you launch attack craft, you go with the attack craft. The carrier continues on its last mission. So if you've chosen to be stationary, it just sits there. If you are in a movement, you generally have to plot your course to make sure that you're going... it looks like I'm going against the Furious. I'm a little bit undergunned, I think. And I misspoke. The Ranger is the Tier 6 carrier. I could be seeing a Tier 8 game, but luckily I'm top tier. This is how you use your map, and I'm not seeing where everybody else is going yet, so I'm just going to move towards this
I need
island.
intelligence data. Let's give them a hard time.
These are rocket attack craft. They are unguided rockets, so where you aim them is where they're going to go. Mostly. You'll see that I'm attacking absolutely nothing. The 2 planes that just engaged in that attack are going back to the carrier. That will help prepare the next wave. Alright, my planes have been detected. And have not spotted anything yet. There we go, I've spotted their carrier already. Wow. And that's what I was really looking for, was destroyers. Although it's strange for destroyers to be using anti-aircraft guns because they engage from a distance that they would normally not be detectable by. Now I just told those planes to come back to where I am. And what I can do is launch the next wave of rocket attack craft. And if you'll look at the bottom of the screen next to F, which is return home, you'll see the rocket craft are indicating 2 of 8. What that's really telling you is there's 2 planes on deck right now out of 8 potential, and you can see the squadron is 8 planes. Saw that, I just launched a fighter in this area, and my fighters are taking out the enemy dive bombers. And I turned away from his fighters. That's how you help protect your friendly ships when you're in an aircraft carrier. Hello, Groucho. Happy Friday to you, too. This is what an attack run looks like. You'll notice that they're sticking together. While that is a excellent tactic for them, it sucks for me. So
Autopilot mode enabled.
Shift my carrier across the map. And I'm now going to take some dive bombers. Because I do want to find an enemy ship that is in desperate need of bombing. No, it's a, the Ranger was an early war carrier, Groucho, so the airplanes available are not the greatest, but they get the job done in-game. See that cruiser over there? Looks like he's all on his lonesome. So I am going to make sure that he regrets being alone.
Waypoint reached.
He does have his own fighter plane. What I just did there was avoid his fighter by getting out of their engagement range. This battleship is also alone.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
dropped too soon, but that's okay, because I have a special gift for that battleship. Why isn't my...
Approaching target.
One thing about destroyers and torpedo bombers that you really need to be careful with is make sure that there is not even a slight chance a friendly ship can sail into your torpedoes, because friendly fire isn't. And you get penalized for the amount of damage you do to your friendly ships. You'll see I'm turning away from that battleship right now. I want to approach him from the flank, and the detectability range of my planes wouldn't have allowed that if I had stayed on course. He is not alone, but that's okay. Ah, my ship is being shot at. We are losing quickly and decisively.
The enemy is about to win.
As you can see there, I managed to hit him.
Critical engine damage. The ship is on fire.
I am going to sink, regardless of what I do now. Hi, Doug. So might as well do the best I can with what I've got. And that was enough points for them to beat me. If I had not been sunk, or if we had not lost by points, I could have continued flying for another 2 minutes. So I did horribly in that. One of the reasons I don't play carriers very often is I'm not very skilled at reading the map to see where I'm needed most in the carrier. But I do have a late war Japanese carrier, the Shuikaku, or Shokaku, not the Shuikaku. Possibly one of the most advanced carriers that the Japanese built. This one I can face because it's a Tier 8. I could face a Tier 10 battle. You'll note that during that last fight, even though the anti-aircraft guns and enemy fighters from the ships were pretty intense, I was getting attacks off on the enemy ships. At higher tiers, that is not likely to happen. Enemy anti-aircraft guns are going to be withering in their firepower. The attack aircraft actually have a special ability to reduce the damage taken from incoming fire, but like all special abilities in game, it has a cooldown. Let's see here. It is a Tier 8 game, so I'm not outclassed in that direction. North Carolina, their anti-aircraft guns are pretty decent. Vladivostok has almost nothing. Normandy has almost nothing. Stay away from the AA cruisers, the Atlanta.
General quarters.
Now my team is going to choose a direction where they'll be stronger, and in a second I'm going to follow that as my lead on where I need to put my ship. It's starting to look like they're aiming for strength on the west side. Looks like he's trying to chase me and put fighters out to intercept me. Unfortunately, all he's really done is shown the team where he's at. So they had a good idea of where he was coming from. You can see the AA guns are a lot stronger. So the enemy team seems to be fairly weak on that side, and we are going to that side. So let me maneuver my carrier
Autopilot mode enabled.
to take advantage of this location.
All stations, concentrate fire on the target. Concentrate fire on the designated target.
We are under attack at
Fighter airborne.
the area
Waypoint
of the
reached.
carrier, but it wasn't the carrier itself being attacked. You see the spread of torpedoes there as they were going after that cruiser. That's the Bobovny and the Vladivostok, neither of which, if I recall correctly, has a very strong AA defense.
Get back!
Let's go see that Vladivostok with a dive bomber squadron.
enemy cruiser.
Our team has taken the lead.
Luckily, the enemy team isn't very coordinated in their defenses. But he's all alone now.
Fighter destroyed.
So I'm going to put a full squadron against our Vladivostok opponent in the center.
Destination reached. Autopilot mode disabled.
I'm going to move the carrier
Autopilot mode enabled.
away from enemy warships that seem to think enemy fighters in the area. That happens.
Stations requesting fire on the acknowledged. Fighter airborne.
See, the key to dropping fighters is you can't drop them too soon, which is what that other team just did over the center.
Get back.
They have 2 squadrons of fighters over that battleship. But they can't stay aloft forever. And I actually can.
Fighter destroyed. Concentrate fire on the designated target.
Now that Leander is not super dangerous.
Reporting the target position. Torpedoes to starboard. Critical engine damage.
Destination reached. Autopilot mode disabled.
Acknowledged.
Autopilot mode enabled.
I launched the wrong ships. Let's call them back. This is what I wanted to launch.
Do not let the enemy take the area.
See that Britain, or Britain, or however however it's worded. Doesn't have a strong
Problem solved,
AA
sir.
defense. So I should be able to do
Fighter airborne.
nice things damage-wise to him.
Fighter airborne. Well done, Commander.
He is more maneuverable than most battleships, however, so you have to take that into account.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Well, hopefully I get a torpedo hit out of that, because that's the end of... Yeah, I got one.
That was a great battle. That's how it's done.
That wasn't a great battle, guys. That was an awful battle. Now, I am going to exit to port.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
No, they didn't. Really? I will be right back. My apologies, folks. Well, we have fought some carriers, we fought some battleship, and we fought some cruiser. Why don't we take out a destroyer, and I can show you how they work. Over at this end, these are really only modern designs. You've got the European Union class Horn. You've got technically another European Union ship. And then you go back into the French, the Agile. And this one is actually, again, a ship that was designed for use in World War II, but served well beyond. This particular ship comes with its own camouflage. So it gets bonuses for that camouflage to the cost of the ship's post-battle service, and it gains 50% extra experience. That never has to be replaced. These, of course, are one battle each. Now, ship's consumables are these items. So the refresh time on them, or reload time, it's 152 seconds on the smoke screen. By taking a little bit of time off of that, 5%, it's available a little bit faster. The Agile is a pretty fast ship. Let's protect it from detonation. And she has torpedoes, so we're going to give her a increased chance to sink or to cause flooding. I promised to show you guys the thanks, Dag. Welcome aboard. I'm sorry I missed you coming in. Promised to show you the commander's skills. As you can see, he has currently 2 points available, but I am saving up for some of the 4-point skills. But you can reduce the risk of damage. You can know when somebody is firing at you. Very useful to know. You can know when you're just targeted or when you're being shot at. There's one that I don't see it here, but I'll figure it out. This one makes your smoke screens bigger. This one allows you to keep moving and maneuvering even if your steering gear or your engine is damaged. Very important to a destroyer. This one gives you an extra charge of each consumable. As you saw with the equipment, the Agile gets an engine boost. It'll add 20% to the engine speed, and the engine speed is normally 36 knots. 20% of that is just over 40 knots, which is far faster than anything else in the normal game. You are ninja. As you may have noticed, I have ships from almost every tech tree in a wide variety, but I don't have anything other than that Japanese carrier that's a Tier 8 or very few Tier 8 and Tier 9 ships. And the reason for that is because I have so many tech trees that I'm chasing down. I'm not a everyday player, and I'm not
Battle
a
starts.
highly skilled player. So it takes me a while to earn the experience to move up. But obviously, Tier 10s are going to be the most powerful and the newest ships.
Protect the base.
There is only one enemy carrier, which is a good thing. The bane of destroyers is being found by enemy carriers because it enables enemy ships that are far outside of your own range to do anything about to see and target you. What I just did there, that little yellow notice that popped up, I turned off my anti-aircraft guns. I was just spotted. Enemy destroyer.
Enemy cruiser detected.
Now then, being an agile little son of a gun does have its benefits. And I don't mean agile just in name. What I just did was dodge torpedoes. Now, with any luck,
All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target.
I was afraid that island was going to get in the way. With any luck, they won't have a clue where they need to target for me. I'm about to be spotted by an aircraft. Or so I thought.
Engine boost activated.
Hi, Casper. Good to see you.
Attention, reporting the target position.
My intention is to sneak through this gap in the islands where those friendly torpedoes just went. And I use the term friendly torpedo very loosely. Naturally, that turns out to be an idea that doesn't hold much water. Who is seeing me? You're seeing me.
The ship is on fire! Critical engine damage! Problem solved, sir. That was a great battle. Smoke screen set. Engine boost deactivated.
That's how I play a destroyer. By the way, that destroyer is longer, nose to tail, stem to stern, than either the brig or the galleon in Sea of Thieves, for reference. Yeah, dag, I sink a lot in destroyers. Doesn't help that it was a high tier either. But battleships, especially mid and low tier battleships, are usually where I'm most comfortable because you have the hit points to make mistakes with. Let's take out a Soviet battleship that can't get out of its own way. Oh, I was talking about containers. These containers, you gain for experience every day, up to 3 containers a day, depending on how much experience you earn. And you'll also gain containers during special events. So here we have a couple of signals and a standard camouflage. This ship doesn't need a camouflage because it's a premium ship. It has its standard camouflage. But I can take advantage of the extra signals and you'll see AA defense is kind of, it's below average, but I wouldn't call it subpar for this particular class of ship. It's about average for the class of ship. Not very maneuverable, but it's got some killer artillery if we can connect some shots. So let's take her out and see how she's doing. That's not entirely true. This is Halloween. So, currently this is for their special deal. After this battle, I'll do one of their special battles to show you the holiday thing. It's different every year, but this year it's alien planet type thing. Last year it was a spooky steampunk type naval battle. Yeah, my wife's granddad was on a destroyer in World War II, and those things you could shoot holes in them with a pistol.
Action stations.
Later in the war, they got some decent armor coverage and started putting AA guns on them instead of being basically torpedo carriers, because the PT boats served a very good job as torpedo carriers, so they didn't really need destroyers filling that role. And his destroyer actually replaced the torpedo tubes with forward AA guns and a rear depth charge launcher. If you look at the top of the screen, the classes of ships can be seen. The diamond shape is the destroyers. The ship with a single line in it is cruisers. The double line is the battleships, and the T marking inside, that's the aircraft carriers. As you can see, we have 2 carriers on each side this time. And I mistakenly left armor piercing loaded, so I'm going to try to guess where this cruiser is going to be in a minute. I did not guess properly.
Enemy battleship sighted.
Stations, concentrate fire on the target.
Typical battleship accuracy. 12 guns, 1 hit. That's a little bit better.
Enemy destroyer sighted. Enemy cruiser sighted. Enemy destroyer sighted.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer. Off to a great start.
I can't believe it took that long for somebody to kill somebody in this.
Much obliged, Commander. Negative.
The enemy team has taken the lead. The enemy is about to win.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Now, if that cruiser lasts another 20 seconds, I'm going to give him a nice bit of firepower.
The enemy is about to win.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
Yeah, the planes can be a pain in the neck.
Enemy aircraft carrier sighted.
Good game, everyone.
That carrier's gonna be in a world of hurt here.
Enemy destroyer detected.
I just found out one of my teammates' names is Grumpy Old Fart. Damn you, destroyer. You're the one spotting him. Yeah, ironically, the destroyer hid from the airplanes, which made us not be able to see the carrier, and he might have gotten away. There we go. That green half circle on the side of my ship icon on the right or left side of the screen indicates I turned the anti-aircraft guns stronger on that side. And now the air crews are going back to where they were before. Anti-air crews, I should say.
Enemy aircraft carrier sighted.
The only way we're going to win this, at this point in the battle, is to sink enough of them to stave off the points loss.
Roger.
Target penetrated. We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
Thanks for the announcement, Captain Obvious.
cycle ends in 5 minutes.
And we're going to lose if we don't sink him. Would be nice if we... This could be it. Well done, Destroyer. Okay, this is some awards that I received. First Blood and Confederate. Confederate, you have to damage at least 6 enemy ships and do at least 20% of their hit points and damage. You get some signals for earning those. These are missions that I'm on, similar to quests in the other games. For each one completed, you get different rewards. This one, if I do a total of 6 missions, I'll get these materials. They can be used to purchase things. Oh, I should have shown you guys the entire thing. I turned out to be pretty good in that battle. Sometimes I am. These 3 ships, they have the sunk icon. That's to indicate that I'm the one who sank them. These ships I damaged without sinking. And that is a friendly ship. That was the other battleship that I sideswiped a little bit. If you do a certain amount of damage, your ship icon turns pink for a number of battles determined by the game until you atone for your damage to friendlies. Okay, let's get rid of my restrictions. There we go. This is the Halloween game set, and I think we're going to do a battle of this. I'm not very good at it. We'll do one battle of this, and then I'm going to say goodbye for the day. These are the various types of weaponry that are available. Now, this has a higher hit point, but this... I think this one has a higher speed. No? I'm not sure. One of them has a speed boost. I'm going to keep the higher hit points. This fires armor-piercing shells. They do a lot better on damage. So I'm going to go all armor-piercing with this ship. And this... this is the consumables. Okay. With this one, I can get a speed boost for 90 seconds? No, 20 seconds. But literally going double the speed. And of course your healing recovery time. During the battle, I'll also get the opportunity... Take care, die. Drive safe. during the battle, as I take on these sea beasts and other players, I'll get the opportunity. See, this map looks a lot different. This is the combat area right here. Near the center, there's a portal that I'm trying to get a key, and once the portal opens, if I have the key, I can go through it. If not, I have to fight a battle in this arena.
Stations.
So let's get rolling. There's already a sea creature coming out of the water ahead of me. Right
Good
there.
luck and fair. Good luck and fair seas.
And yes, it's just the sunk ship icon for killing them. Would have been cool if they had given us a new icon for this mode. The trick with the gunnery on board the ship is to figure out where on the scale you want to aim, and you kind of have to base that on your opponent's speed. There's not a quick answer for it. Obviously, the closer you are to them, the less lead time you need to give them. I'm going to choose to get my reloads faster. I'm going to start heading towards the center, because that's where the keys are. That creature's just out of gunnery range, so... Oh, really? Let's be nice to you first. And I'm going to go with faster reloads on my consumables. Looks to me like somebody's already taken a couple of keys. The enemy ships, of course, are trying to get keys as well. I just I spotted an enemy ship. That ship with the key. Can be sunk and have his key taken from him.
breach. We're taking on water quickly. We're hull below the waterline. We're flooding quickly.
Main gun's reloading faster. Something just detected me, and I spotted something. Ah, it's an enemy ship. He's getting shot at by somebody over there. Let's get this ship turned around. Done this correctly. I'll be able to get through the portal. And by the way, this is a free-for-all battle. We formed a division. This guy and me. But once it turns into a battle royale, he's gonna abandon me quicker than snail snot. And probably shoot at me too, because, you know, that's the way they do.
ship is on fire!
And that's me getting through the portal. So, what they're all fighting for is those green keys above their ship. So, this guy right here is ignoring the ship next to him. And it turned out to be not a bad deal for him because ship that came up behind him rammed him, and you see anybody who didn't get through the portal goes to the octagon. That's that round area in the corner of the map I showed you. And this is that round area. All the survivors are going to fight each other. That guy's green, so he's the one who I had partnered up with, so let's follow him. He's in a world of hurt. He doesn't have a lot of hit points left. He's probably going to lose. However, that's going to depend entirely on whether or not he gets focused on by both of them. And it does look like that's what they're doing. They're focusing their fire on him. You see the bright light around the edge? That's a noose closing on this area. When you go outside of that circle, you take damage. And it closes in fairly quickly. So even if you don't fight it out, somebody's going to get wiped out by that noose. And the guy who did the ramming in that instance is the one who won. I did pretty well. Let's see. Cause 2 million points of damage. 1.2 million already. This one doesn't break down the same way the others did. But you can see I did... 1/3 in damage. Well, everybody, I appreciate your coming by today for the 2.5 hours of me running around in a warship. The test went extremely well. My internet is holding up for streaming. And I did not see an appreciable loss in frames per second. I'm about 10 frames a second slower while running Streamlabs, but that's not going to hurt anything. I was still over 60 most of the time. I believe that that means that all is going to be well and good for Fallout stream. I'm still not convinced what time or day is best for a Fallout building stream, but I am thinking possibly Saturday. If anybody wants to give me some ideas on it, I'm more than happy to take suggestions. Most of you know that I am present on Discord almost every day. Groucho, Sardeliac, Hawk, Die. I think that covers all the streams for anybody, or Discords for anybody who's here on the stream. I'm also on Phoenix's stream and Icedella, although I did not post my test stream on either of those. I appreciate your coming by and am very grateful for your time this afternoon. As I said, it's been a blast. I hope y'all had fun. I certainly had fun bringing it to you.